The spider remedy can be studied by the behavior of another animal, the fox. The behavior, movement, response, emotions all explain and support the foxy behavior. Have you ever seen a spider keeping company? Hardly or none at all. They desire darkness and cannot bear to be looked at. Similarly, Tarentula Hispanica does not like company at all and desires to lie down in the dark and does not want to be talked to or looked at. If you observe these children, they are sly and crafty. They require constant vigilance and monitoring. Someone or the other must keep a check on them all the time.
Just as a simple example, if you tell a tarantula child not to touch something like an expensive Chinese vase, then as soon as you move your attention away, they will move their hand slowly and drop it. Then laugh about it and finally say sorry with such a sorrowful and pitiable face that you will eventually let them off.
Disobedience plus 3 forms the basis of tarantula. This child does not listen or pay heed to his parents. He is very headstrong and will do whatever he wishes to do. He does not want to be guided, scolded or forced to do things. Right from infancy, he will resist anything that he does not want to do. As he grows up and if forced to do something, he gets very angry and violent. If he cannot harm you physically, he will use abusive and foul language. They do not like contradiction. The slightest contradiction can lead to anger and violence. The violence is so severe that he can strike out at others or even himself. All efforts and movements are sudden and unpredictable. They are like a fox. Their behavior is revengeful, malicious, spiteful and vindictive. Their response is destructive, full of mania and madness.
This child has a desire to hide from others because of fear or because he thinks he will be assaulted.
He is very cunning. He calculates his advantage in all his relationships. He will always rush and take the best seat. He will take the biggest piece of cake and will not feel bad about it. He can speak falsehoods very easily and without any hesitation. He will lie with such confidence that everybody will believe it to be true. Opium. Tarantula has a habit of stealing things right from childhood. They steal pencils, erasers, books, etc. and are not ashamed about it. He will curse and swear to prove his points. The inhuman attitude is obvious right from childhood. They are very cruel and brutal in their handling. They kill small animals, birds, and take great pleasure in doing so.
If you ask them a question, they will reply shortly and curtly. Their way of talking is normally threatening and instigative. At the same time, you will find them complaining about behavior of the others.
The causative factors are scolding plus 3, punishment plus 3, disappointment, admonition, bad news, good news, excitement, grief, sorrow, and injury. A tarantula child, like a spider, cannot be steady at one place. He desires movement, flexibility, and cannot sit in one position. He is always on the move. In a doctor's clinic, he will not sit at one place even for a short while. He will touch things, will shake things, will break things, will go out and come inside the cabin repeatedly, and so on. In short, he is tremendously restless. Tarantula has marked anxiety which has no basis or it is causeless. This anxiety is felt in the stomach. His behavior is contrary. One minute he behaves mildly, another minute rudely. He behaves contrary to his promises.
This child is always malingering or feigning.
Whenever it comes to handling responsibilities, he will look at others as if he is under great stress, plumbum moscus, and gets paroxysms of faintness. In adults, such a situation gives rise to hysteria. The patient gets very irritable, violent or hysterical on seeing red, yellow, green and black colors. They take care that nobody is watching them. There is no hysteria when there is nobody to observe them. Similarly, there is no asthma when nobody is observing or is around them. Otherwise, they are totally shameless and have a strong desire to be naked. They remove their clothes in the presence of others. Moscus. Tarantula is a remedy with perversions and affections in the moral front. There is always a lack of moral feelings. The patient is predominantly extroverted by nature. He is excitable, irritable and expresses himself very clearly. Nobody can touch him. Nobody can look at him. It is one of the most important remedies for maniacal conditions. Tarantula is a remedy which desires to dance and sing. Dance wildly. Dancing and music is something which ameliorates tarantula to a great extent. While dancing, they are cheerful and exhilarated. They enjoy, but their movements are not rhythmic. They are not coordinated. They are like a spider, moving in any direction, and the movements are violent. Much of this excitement comes in paroxysms and is associated with singing, tearing of clothes, abusive language, etc. Such behavior can also be seen even in sexual excitement and nymphomania. Along with excitability, they are very irritable, morose, cross, and get offended very easily. Irritability is of such a high degree that they cannot bear anybody to look at them. The irritability, anger, excitement is better after coition. They are violent, with a desire to torture oneself or a desire to beat others.
There is a strong element of death. He threatens to kill others or to commit suicide. Laughter of tarantula is involuntary, hysterical, silly and with a stupid expression.
As the disease progresses, there is insanity and madness. The patient tears clothes and pulls his own hair. There is a marked restlessness, especially of the legs. They make gestures as of grasping or reaching at someone, picking the clothes of someone, or other such nervous gestures. In excitement, he can't bear anybody to be near him, and, if disturbed, will roll on the ground. The behavior is totally eccentric and inhuman. There is an overstimulation of the nervous system in tarantula. The patient is active +5 and is always in a hurry. Hurry, haste while walking, while reading and while talking. He must constantly keep himself busy or must walk all the time. He is better when mentally occupied. Bromium, Kali Brom. Tarantula patient is very busy. At times he is busy fruitlessly. There's nothing much constructive or productive being done. There's a marked desire to work, mania to work, workaholic. There's an increased desire for sex. He must keep busy all the time. The patient feels guilty after masturbation. They have a lot of strength and inner energy, which gets channelized easily for destructive activities. Very greedy, speech is fast and responses are abrupt. Normally, this patient is nervous, hysterical, mischievous and destructive. But there are some tarantulas who are oversensitive and sympathetic. They can't bear to see others suffer.
They are always guided by their whims and fancies. There are many dreams of dead bodies, insults, long dreams, dreams of misfortune, unpleasant things, dreams of animals, injured by animals, joyous dreams, sad dreams, and dreams of business.
There are many delusions, hysterical, maniacal, and absurd. He sees many strange, hideous faces and images. They have cupidity in eating, associated with severe constipation. The aggravations are noise, touch, +5, cohesion, change of weather, cold, damp, periodically.
The ameliorations are movement +5, walking, rubbing, relaxation, sweating, smoking, open air, sun, massaging, riding in carriage.
Tarantula is an important remedy for many clinical conditions like abscess, angina, behavioral disorder, diabetes, fissure, eczema, mania, restlessness, sexual disorder, uterine fibroids, tumor and valvular disease. In plant and mineral kingdom, remedies belonging to the same group exhibit group symptoms and their mental picture is very close. For example, Kali group, they are very near in their expressions. The same thing is not applicable to the animal kingdom. For example, snakes and spiders. They carry their individualistic symptoms and very few group symptoms are present. Related remedies are Nux vomica, but it is chilly and he has desire for spicy food. Sulfuric acid, extreme hurriedness, chilliness with anger. Arsenicum has restlessness, irritability and periodicity. Lilium tigrinum has hurriedness, great sexual desire, anger along with uterine concomitant.